away, and I am who I want to be. Then I wake up to the same old thing. People trying to tell me it was just a dream. We all have our haters, but I'm tired of listening to them. The truth, they say it can set you free. I think that's what happened to me. I'm not sure what else it could be. My fear and doubt have gone.
2 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock. Welcome to Linkage Radio 101.5 FM. Wherever you are this evening, I'd like to welcome you. The show is brought to you courtesy of Country Kitchen Pelham Manor. They're in BJ Shopping Center this evening, and what an evening we're having. It's my second segment of the show this evening, dubbed Career Switch from Nursing to Perfusion Technology. Denese Alicia Dacres-Reeves was awarded a scholarship to study perfusion technology in 2012. She's currently the only person trained in this field in the Jamaican Public Sector. And it's my pleasure to go to the phone line. Denese Alicia Dacres-Reeves, welcome to Linkage Radio. How are you?
Thank you very much, Lady D. Thank you so much.
Well, Denese, all right. So we had a good laugh, maybe a good 10 seconds laugh.
Yes, we did.
Because Denese came on, I picked up the phone right after I ended my talk with Aymar, and I said, "Good evening, Inside the Zone." She said, "Good evening. May I speak with Lady D? Please." I'm like, "This is she." I'm like, "Denese?" Oh, and so we started to laugh, because I must admit that we have not seen each other for a very, very long time. But certainly we have been following, because the social sites has now created that medium for us to follow each other. So we have been following each other, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to Inside the Zone right here in Lower Westchester County, New York. Denese,
it's my pleasure.
How is Jamaica?
Jamaica is good, hot but good. Lots to see, lots to do, and I'm absolutely loving it.
Of course. Ladies and gentlemen, you're perhaps saying, so how Lady D just talking up to this lady? So that's simple, because we know each other a very long time. But this evening is somewhat special, because I am recognizing Denese for her work and her career switch. When I thought about how should I tag this segment with Denese, and Denese is also my namesake. If you all know, I named Denese. And so I said career switch, because she started out as a nurse. But before we get into all of that, Denese, would you like to say hello to all the people who you know, who I know, and those who don't know you?
Sure, no problem. I'd like to say hi to all my friends here in Jamaica who are listening, those that work at the Bustamante Hospital and all over the island that have seen the postings on Facebook and are tuning in, to my mom and my children, all my friends abroad who are listening, those in India where I was trained. A very pleasant good evening. I'm happy that you guys could be hearing and participating in this interview this evening.
Oh, it's such a beautiful thing, and I blast you, I blast you out so nobody would miss you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the segment this evening. Denese Alicia Dacres-Reeves is the first of 3 children and the only girl. She's the mother of 3 children. Denese is a past student of the Oberlin High School. She started studying nursing in 1990 at the University Hospital of the West Indies. She's also a past student of EXED School of Nursing. Denese was employed to the Spanish Town Hospital for a number of years in varying positions. She was voted Employee of the Year twice and first runner-up Nurse of the Year, courtesy of the Nurses Association of Jamaica. Her exemplary performance awarded her a scholarship to study Perfusion Technology in 2012. She's currently the only person trained as such in Jamaica in the public sector. Denese, we are finally here, and I can publicly say congratulations to you.
Thank you so much.
This is indeed an achievement, and in my opinion, I regard your career as an enviable one. Why? Because a career path that many people perhaps have never even thought of. They perhaps never heard of perfusion technology before, and I would like you to define that at the onset before we actually begin our discussion.
Okay, thank you. Actually, it is a new phenomenon to Jamaica because a lot of people do not know what perfusion technology is or who a perfusionist is. When I say to people I'm a perfusionist, they said, what is that? Yes. Or they open their mouth and roll their eyes out. Perfusion technology actually is a highly specialized field in vascular surgery, and that facilitates the surgeon to do vascular surgeries in what we call a blood-free environment. The person who is trained as a perfusionist has to have a solid background in training in the discipline of medicine and pharmacology. And this person is trained for a period of 2 years or more, depending on the institution which they go to operate what we call a heart-lung machine and other specialized equipment in collaboration with the heart-lung machine that acts as the mechanical heart and lung for patients who requires vascular surgery. The perfusionist also is responsible for maintaining the patient's anesthesia while they are having these different vascular surgeries. It's maintained during what we call bypass. The patients are connected to via tubings to a machine which empties or drains the blood from a specific area or most of the body of the patient and infuses it slowly back to the patient so that the doctors can operate in an environment where there's no blood, but yet still maintaining the patient's muscular integrity and keeping them alive. We are responsible for maintaining blood measures, parameters within normal range while we have that patient's blood circulating in our machine. So we will do any corrective measures that are needed while the patient is what we call on pump. We keep them cool via the machines that we use, and we can warm up the patient via the machines that we use. If it is that there's a difficulty, we need to add blood to our circulating pump blood, we do that, and various other things that the perfusionist does while the patient is on pump. Perfusion also takes into account other disciplines within the medical scheme in terms of persons who require blood conservation. The perfusionist is involved in blood plasmapheresis, which is separating of blood products. Also involved in blood preservation and conservation, where they're able to what we call wash a patient's blood, salvage blood, so that we can clean it up and send it back to patients, and that is of great benefit for our Jehovah's Witnesses or for other patients who do not believe in accepting blood during surgery.
Transfusion.
It's a whole new industry, very new to Jamaica, and we're making strides by being the first person in government sector. We hope to get another person soon as measures are put in place to facilitate a second person being trained.
Career switch from nursing to perfusion technology. I'm speaking with perfusionist this evening, Denese Alicia Dacres-Reeves, and she is live in Jamaica. Denese, you started out as being a nurse. And
yes, I did.
I remember you being in nursing school.
Yes.
And the transition that you have made from your nursing background into becoming a perfusionist, what made you make that change, that switch?
Okay, actually it was prompted by two things. I was at the Spanish Town Hospital working as an in-service officer when I was asked as a part of my role to attend an open day, cardiac open day at the Bustamante Hospital where they had it being hosted.
Mm-hmm.
And they were talking about what was cardiovascular perfusion, and the different perfusionists came up, and they were speaking about the wonders of medicine being able to save a young person's heart and to reconstruct so many different things and the different anomalies that can be corrected using the cardiovascular surgeons, the perfusionists, the anesthesiologists, and I was fascinated by it.
Mm-hmm.
So while they were doing their presentation, I was Googling and reading about it online, and then my last child is a recipient of cardiac surgery.
Okay.
She was born with defects in her heart,
Mm-hmm.
so she had to have her defects repaired on one of our missions to the Bustamante Hospital.
Mm-hmm.
When I found out that this is what was done for her and all the things that it entailed, I felt compelled to know more about it and become trained, because at the time they had presented an offer for 2 persons to be trained. So I immediately applied that very day, and I was later called for the interview for training, and I was successful and I was awarded the scholarship.
I tell you, and it has certainly opened your mind to how the heart actually works. I mean, for those of us who were in school and we studied human and social biology, and you had to, you know, draw diagrams and show the valves and all of that. Now your role must be quite demanding, Denese, because you are, in other words, as we would use the quote, they look to you for that. You know, they rely on you. What is it like? How demanding is it? Is it a job that you find a lot of pressure? Does it get overwhelming sometimes?
It has its moments. If you know what you are about, then naturally you will feel a little uneasy at the onset of any procedure that you're about to do, because being a perfusionist and being the person who operates a heart-lung machine, it doesn't give you any avenues to correct mistakes or to foul up. And for me, when I enter into the operating theater and I have to select my circuits and assemble the machines and put things together, I remember that I cannot afford to mess up, because I do not have an opportunity to correct my mistakes. And I also remember that the anesthesiologist is depending on me to do a good job. The surgeon is depending on me to keep a blood-free environment so that he can do what he has to do efficiently and quickly. And the parents are also depending on the entire team for a successful procedure, and that the baby or the child or whomever it is that we operate on comes out to them and they get a healthy person to go home with. So initially I'm a little bit unnerved, and I love to pray and hum. So that is what I use to calm myself. I sing and I hum and I pray, and I said, Lord, I put this case in your hand. Guide my hands, help me to select the correct things, and then I move on from there.
Okay.
Once the client is connected to my machines, I tend to do a second check to make sure I've had everything in place, and I sort of settle down and back until I'm ready to wean the patient from the machine. Because the most difficult part of the entire procedure is to get the patient on and to successfully get the patient off.
I see.
And once you're able to do that while maintaining good blood parameters during the process, then you're good to go.
Denese Alicia Dacres-Reeves, she's a perfusionist, ladies and gentlemen. I welcome you to the segment Career Switch from Nursing to Perfusion Technology. We take a short break. We'll be right back. Stay with me. Don't go anywhere.
One day that you see the truth from inside my heart. From before the day that we first met, my heart had followed you, and it led my mind to search for you until my eyes found you. But it seemed you were not ready, had your plans already made, so I did my best to love you from afar until till you met you. I've been waiting for the perfect time to give you a sign. I've been wanting to show you my love, what's been here on my mind. All along I stood on your side, patiently waiting here in line. One day you will open up your eyes and see what you've been missing. Uh-oh. 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 Oh, how it hurts when I see you go, and death you seem to choose. Take abuse from lovers and think they have your song in tune. If only you could see beyond the surface of the
17 minutes after the hour of 7 o'clock.
you to it.
WLNK Linkage Radio 101.5 FM.
I've been waiting for the perfect time.
The show is simulcast with Island Blend Radio in Atlanta, Georgia, Touch FM Radio 105.7 in the Bronx. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen.
You're on my mind.
Inside the Zone, it brings you interesting people and features within the Caribbean community across the Caribbean and the world.
One day you will open up your
The segment is Career Switch, from nursing to perfusion technology.
go.
My guest is Denese Alicia Dacres-Reeves. Denise.
Yes.
All right, we're back. You all right down there?
I'm good.
I'm sure my audience, they're listening and they're saying, so where this lady, she go find this is something to go learn up all them something, you know.
Pardon, I didn't hear that.
Oh, you didn't hear my patois?
No.
I was just saying that the audience must be saying, and so I'm just going to digress a little bit, ladies and gentlemen, but I was just saying that the people must be saying, boy, oh, Denise, she go find this career path, you know. I know that people in India might not understand a thing I just said. So, ladies and gentlemen,
No,
we
they
were just...
wouldn't, because you have spoken it a little bit too fast.
I said it a little too fast, but we're
Yes.
wondering, you know, how Denise got caught up into this. But of course, you so eloquently explained it to us. And, you know, I also wanted you to share what your experiences were like in India. And you also went someplace else for training, did you not?
Yes, I did. I was in Ethiopia, and I also went to Egypt as one heart center, and the finishing leg was in London.
And what was the experience like?
It was pretty interesting. I was debriefed on my commencement of the program. I was met in London with my clinical specialist and supervisor, Stan Brown, who was the person who was responsible for my entire training and seeing to that I met all my objectives and I was successful. And when they said to me, when we had the interview, we were not sure where exactly I was going to be trained, because there were several places that a training post was present. And then eventually they said to me, oh, we'll send you to India because the hospital there, which is in Narayana Horidala, has volume cases, and I would get more experience there vis-a-vis going elsewhere. And I was like, oh my God, India. And I said, I don't know a word in any of these languages and how many languages I spoke. But I took up the challenge. I found it exciting, so I went. Initially, it was a little bit difficult because of the culture that exists in India, where women are not seen to be in so-called leading roles. And then more so a black woman who was coming for a leading role and educated and wanting to be in a super specialist environment. So there was a little challenge there, but I have a very loud mouth and I'm passionate about what I do, so I spoke up for myself, and then things changed. So the staff at Narayana Horidala and my lecturers there and facilitators there, they realized that I was a no-nonsense person, and they adapted, and we worked together for me to accomplish what my objectives were while I was there. I got to do cases, both adults and children, or clinical settings, and they were brought in lecturers from the United States, from Tennessee, and Mr. Jim Beaver, who came and took us through some of the topics that we needed to get through. And it was a wonderful experience eventually. I They adapted to my language. I learned to understand the English they spoke because it's not as fluent as we do.
Mm-hmm.
And I adapted. I might not have shared much in their culture. I found the market and the different places so I could survive. But it was wonderful. Then we were sent to Egypt because there were two other young girls from Ethiopia, two other young girls from Ethiopia who were there.
Mm-hmm.
So we had an intensive block of training in Ethiopia, which saw us being flooded with loads and loads and loads of information. But the good thing was that having a nursing background and having done a degree which had somewhat, it was like my springboard from which I worked to become a perfusionist. Because one of the requisites was that you would have to have a first degree of the program. So I remember one of the days when I was studying, I sent back a message to my matron and I said to her, thank God I did not sleep in school when I was doing my degree.
There you go.
Because all of those things that I was taught while I was doing my degree in college came forward into my training as a perfusionist, and it did help a long way along that path.
Mm-hmm. Oh, beautiful. We're proud of you, Denese. And all my friends and your friends, we share friends alike. In Jamaica, we started out, many people don't know that we can sing, Denese. Well, maybe they know you can, but they don't know that I can.
Yeah, really? How come?
Because I have not been doing it much.
Oh, my.
I must admit. But, you know, for those of you who are listening and all our friends who are tuned in, you know, Denese and I, we go way back. We sang in choir together, and, you know, it has been a long path in our respective fields. But, you know, God is good to us, and He has really been gracious to us. As a matter of fact, when I blasted out the interview last night, a friend of ours
Carlene.
June. We can just say June. June.
Yes, June and Marvin.
Marvin, he went and did his own research on Perfusion Technology. I'm like, what's your bossy? And then June said, you know, we could maybe sing something from
Bossa tune.
Bossa tune. It was so funny, from the days of the National Concert Choir.
Yes, but those are good days.
Yes, and here are glory days. I mean, you have now merged into your career, and I know that you work exceptionally well, and people regard you highly for, you know, your level and where you're at, and that's a beautiful thing. So I have been in discussions with you 2 years prior, when I realized that you were doing something. I wondered what's she doing, where is she? And then I decided to reach out to you, and I promised that at the end of your training I would certainly convene an interview with you, and here it is, April 2nd. So ladies and gentlemen, wherever you are, those of you who are studying and you're wondering, what career path should I choose? Because sometimes we tend to choose the careers that we are familiar. The unknown territory, we really have not done any research on. You know, there are people who are excelling in fields that you say, so what on earth, where did they go find that? But really, you know, as you say, it's new to Jamaica. And I know over time, you might become so instrumental in the training process for persons who wish to embark in this field. And
well, actually, that was one of the terms of my scholarship, that after I was trained and I came back home, that I would have had to assist in the selection process and the training of a second person. Because an under-perfusionist cannot effectively manage a perfusion department or being on pump. You need an assistant to assist you, to do fetch for you, or in the event that something happens on the pump, that person can be your second pair of eyes or hands. So the idea is to have a second person being trained, but at this moment it's on pause for a while.
I understand that. Well, we're wrapping up now, Denese, but certainly I'd like you to, you know, say your final comments. And those of you who are inspired this evening, as I am, I know that you're going to go research Perfusion Technology, see what it's all about.
Yes.
You so eloquently explained what it was all about, but I'm sure that went over somebody's head. They'll now have
Yes,
to go
I'm sure it has.
They'll now have to go sit and read and say, man, maybe I can do this too. Who knows? So your final comments at this time.
I just want to thank you for this interview this evening, and just to say to persons who are out there who are unsure and uncertain about their career path, research and see what careers are available to you, and do not only become restricted to those which are available in your country, but those which are available internationally, and find something that you are passionate about. Because if you're not passionate about it, then you will not give it your best. So find something that you're passionate about and pursue it. And the passion will bring forth, everything else will fall into place. The love, the passion, the dedication, the commitment, everything else will fall into place, and you'll be happy.
Oh, there you go. My regards and love to your children and your family and all the people in Jamaica who spent the time to really want to sit back and listen, because I'm absolutely sure that most of the people who know you, they did not get this much information about what it is that you do.
No.
I'm sure they must be saying, so wait, Denise, a big thing, man. You know me, Denise. But and now they know.
That after today they're going to say, you didn't tell me that's all you did. And all of those things. Oh, that's cool.
So that's why you spent the time to be inside the zone with yours truly, Lady D, right here on the show called Inside the Zone on Linkage Radio 101.5 FM. To all the people in Yard, Jamdung, The Rock, Land of Wood and Water, what can I say? Blessings, blessings. So Denise, take it easy.
Thank you, I will.
And as always, be good to yourself and enjoy what you do, and just love your children. Hug them up and say, Auntie Denise says hi from New York.
Will do.
All right. Take care, love. Thank you for being with me this evening.
Too.
That's a wrap, ladies and gentlemen.
Of all the things I've seen and places I've been, wanna stop and tell you this one thing. You caught my attention, rather you stopped me in my sin. I'll surrender my will, this time it's real. I'm done with the young girl foolishness. Wanna be or die, how to riding queen, yeah, yeah. I'm on board to follow you, be your number one fan, down the right up on your back. Tell me hold on tight, I never let go, I'll be your lady. Steer this wheel, I'll trust in you. Be your number one fan, and right up on your back. Tell me hold on tight, I never let go, I'll be your lady. So nobody can say this is a fleeting thing. This love I can stay through thick and thin. In the ups and the downs, just call me in, yeah, yeah. All you I gotta see is stability, and the only thing that's flipping in is the DJ and this your rhythm in. And my heart going boom boom rhythm in.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that was Denese Alicia Dacres-Reeves. She studied perfusion technology, and now she's a perfusionist. It's a challenging position, because as you heard her, she can't make any mistakes. She has to be on her A game. No matter what, she has to do what she has to do, and she has to do it well. So I thank her so much for being with me, and all those of you who garnered some information this evening. It's great, great, great to be here. Guess what? It's another jam-packed evening. Got a segment coming up. As you know, autism. It's Autism Awareness Month this month. The month of April, and each and every year I'm always focusing on autism. Coming up in a few, I have information for you, but you know what? The Maya Chung Autism and Disabilities Foundation will be enacting its second fundraising effort in New York City in partnership with Zing Flash Films. I wonder where they get these kind of names from, man. On April 26th, under the theme Dining to Donate for Autism Awareness. And so this evening I have D. Brown and I could say his crew. But I can't say his crew. They are also members of the organization. You all, by the time I'm done with you this evening. So it's all... All right, so we'll talk more once they come on air with me. But it's a great evening this evening. The show is Inside the Zone. You're sitting home and you're learning so much. And we're about to talk about Autism Awareness Month. What a thing, sir.